Hi guys, I'm Max Weinbach with XDATV, and today I'm going to be comparing the S10 Plus to the Note 9 to see what's better on one device than the other, or if they're about the same. Uh, I'll be comparing speakers and cameras, and then all around software experience, design, display, just all of the things about the devices. Let's get started. So as you can probably tell from the actual phones, this here is the S10 Plus and this is the Note 9. Oops. So just looking at the two devices, the S10 Plus does look a lot sleeker with the punch hole. People will argue punch hole doesn't look that great, but just going off the design here, in my opinion, the S10 Plus does look a lot nicer than the Note 9. It has a smaller chin at the bottom, less of a top bezel, and two cameras instead of one. But it does miss out on iris scanning, which means less secure biometrics for facial recognition. As of, you guys might have seen a video going around and articles written that the face scanning on the S10 Plus isn't good and that anyone can trick it with a picture. Sure, but there's a setting you can enable to disable the facial recognition and make it perfectly fine. So that's essentially nothing. Also, you have an in-screen fingerprint scanner here. Right there, it's ultrasonic instead of optical like most other phones use, compared to a fingerprint scanner on the back right here. The fingerprint scanner on the back is definitely faster than the one on the screen. Definitely faster, but the one on the screen is more convenient, in my opinion. It seems it's a little bit more convenient for me because you just pull your phone out of your pocket and you put your finger down and it's done. I find that to be more convenient. They both have essentially the same software experience. The Note 9 I have right here is running One UI 1.0 over in software info, right up the top there. And my S10 Plus is running One UI 1.1. The difference between these versions is essentially nothing. It has a slightly newer version of Knox, and that's essentially all I can think of right now. This does have Bixby routines and Samsung's version of digital well-being, where the Note 9 does not, unless you install the Magisk module for the Exynos phone, which I do have right here. So I do have digital well-being and Bixby routines, but normally you would not have that. Most of the other software is essentially the same. You're going to get the same multitasking, same recents window, though this does have 5, this has 4. Apps at the bottom, recommended based on usage. So that's essentially the same. And you can fit more apps and make them look nicer on this one. That's essentially the same. Now, I do have an Exynos versus a Snapdragon phone, so it's not going to be exactly the same for everyone. Most of the world will get Exynos, well, the US does get Snapdragon, but that just means bootloader unlocking and Gcam support. So the S10 Plus does have a good working Gcam, where my Note 9 Exynos here has Gcam, but it does tend to overexpose too much to the point at which the picture is unusable. So comparing photography, Note 9, the S10 is a winner. But going with the default cameras, here are some pictures. I'm gonna throw these up in the video, but as you can see, the Note 9's colors are a lot more blue in the sky compared to a bit more pale of a blue. But the S10 has is a lot more color accurate to what I'm actually seeing if I'm looking out the window. So even though the Note 9 might be a little bit more appealing, the S10 is a lot more accurate, which has been the trend we've been seeing. The S10 also does have a lot more HDR, so when you zoom into the trees next to the house, you get a lot more detail in the trees, which you just don't get on the Note 9. Now, if you were to compare it with Gcam on both devices, if the Note 9 had an actually good working Gcam, it would probably be very similar because the sensors themselves are very similar, even though the S10 is slightly newer. Now for speakers. On both devices, I have Dolby Atmos enabled. I have Dolby Atmos enabled. So let's just go to YouTube and play some music. I'm just going to look up some copyright-free music from 99 Lives. So, let's go this song. And when you turn it up all the way, it sounds good. It sounds good and it's loud. But when you turn the S10 up all the way and play the same thing, it is significantly louder. It is about as clear. They're about as clear, but it is significantly louder. And when you're actually comparing display quality, it's a no-brainer. The S10 wins. It's brighter at peak brightness. It's more vibrant when you have that mode enabled, and it's all around a better display. Let me just set my S10 to the same display mode. Well, actually mentioning display modes, you can come up here and you will see that Samsung has actually changed the screen modes. On the S10, you only get 2 screen modes, Vivid and Natural. Well, on the Note 9, you get Adaptive, AMOLED Cinema, AMOLED Photo, and Basic. Vivid, to me, seems essentially like the adaptive mode, which is going to be about what, and it depends on the region and a lot, but you're probably going to be getting the Vivid display option right out of the box on your S10. Mine came in the natural display mode, but others are reporting theirs to be coming in the Vivid mode. So display, S10, of course, wins. Front-facing cameras, just to go back to the camera point, I recorded the intro on the S10 Plus, and I'm going to front cameras, and I'm going to record the outro on the Note 9 front camera. And you guys can decide for yourself which one you like more. The Note 9 has a 1440p front camera, while the S10 has a 4K 60 FPS front camera. But I'm only going to be recording it in 4K. So besides that, again, software is the same. Hardware is where these kind of differ a lot. This has 3 cameras, this has 2. This has a telephoto and a wide angle, which is essentially just the normal lens. This has an ultra wide angle, a telephoto, and a wide angle, which again, normal lens. So they do have a big difference there. Then again, you have punch hole versus top bezel. And the actual weight of the devices. This one is a lot lighter. This is probably the lightest phone I've ever carried. Just picking it up for the first time, it is extremely light, and I've never carried a phone that has been this light. It just feels amazing to hold. The Note 9 is definitely a bit heavier, not even a bit, it's definitely a lot heavier, but it's not bad. The display sizes are the same. If you were to compare them, display sizes are the same, but you get more display to body, or it's a higher screen to body ratio on the S10 than the Note 9 because of smaller chin, smaller top bezel, and punch hole. And then they both have USB Type-C. They both have a headphone jack. Speaker on the bottom. The Note 9 does have an S Pen compared to the lack of one on the on the S10, but that's just part of the S10. So that's essentially everything that's different that you can compare. The S10 essentially wins on everything. The S10 is a much nicer device than the Note 9, but the Note 9 does have the S Pen. That is the only reason why you're going to essentially be getting the Note 9 at this point. These phones do cost the same retail value. They're both $1,000 US, but you can get a 512 gigabyte version of the Note 9 for $1,250. Same with the S10, but if you do that for the S10, it comes in ceramic compared to glass on the Note 9. Essentially, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck with the S10 if you were trying to decide which one of these to go for. I would say go for the S10 because it's just a lot nicer of a device and you get a lot more for your money. I've been using this for 3-4 days now. I've been using this for about 6 months, just the Snapdragon version. I also have an Exynos, so I'm going to be comparing it with that, but I have been using the Snapdragon version of it for about 6 months, and that was my favorite phone. But now the S10 has to be my favorite just because of everything it brings over from the Note 9 and everything it can do that the Note 9 can't. Oh, the last thing that I just have to mention that the S10 can do that the Note 9 can't is wireless power share. So a couple days ago, I bought an iPhone XS, and it was dead out of the box. And I wanted to set it up before I came home and charged it. So I turned on wireless power share and just put the iPhone on the back. And I was able to give it a nice little boost of power to be able to set it up. And a little known feature is that when you're actually charging your S10 at night, so let me just grab a cable. When you're charging your S10 at night, you can enable wireless power share and charge your accessories with it. So you can enable wireless power share, plug it in, and your accessories will charge at the same time. So instead of having to have a dock for your smartwatch, you can just use wireless power share directly off your phone. And this is going to be great for Galaxy Buds because the case has a 7-hour battery, the Buds has 6, so you're going to want to charge the case a lot. Just lay it on your phone while you charge your phone at night, and it's good. It's a nice feature that the Note 9 doesn't have, the S10 does. And that is one of a lot of features that you get if you get an S10 over the Note 9. And that's why it makes it so much better. All right. So again, this is with the Note 9 camera. Thank you guys for watching the video. Let me know what you think comparing the S10 Plus or S10s to the Note 9. I personally think the Note 9 is not as good of a phone as the S10 Plus, but again, that's just my opinion. Let me know what you think. Also, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, just let us know what you think. Again, love the S10 Plus. Favorite phone. In my opinion, it beats out every other phone on the market.